Yo, what's poppin'? What's going on? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game. What's good? Real quick, I wanted to talk about, guys when they're approaching women and they're talking to women and they're trying to, get numbers and make things happen, right? Now, the thing is this. I get a lot of emails from guys and they'll ask me, they'll say, hey, Mr. Locario, what can I say to women to, get more numbers, get more dates? What can I say to, get a girl interested, make a girl like me? What are some of the things that I can say and do to basically either guarantee that this girl will stay and talk to me, guarantee that this girl is going to give me her number, or, what are some things I can say to, move the conversation along and all this other stuff, right? Now, there are things that you can do to improve your social skills. There are things that you can do to make it more likely that when you're having a conversation with a girl that she is, she'll give you the number and that the conversation will flow to the point where, she'll be feeling you enough to make things go down, right? Now, what usually happens is I get guys that hit me up and they want to literally know, they want to know the exact things to say, like word for word. They want to get a script, right? And what you got to understand about this is every conversation that you have with women is going to be a unique experience. Every conversation, every last one of them, right? So what you got to understand is that there is no way that I can give you a word for word script. There's no way that you can even basically come up with a word for word thing, technically, because any conversation that you have is going to be a unique experience. So what you have to know is how to, socialize and be in the moment so that when you are having those interactions, things will go the way that, in a direction you want it to go, right? Now, let's say, for example, when you approach women, right, you might open the conversation by saying basically the same thing to every girl, right? Let's do something simple. Let's say if you walked up to a girl and said, hey, miss, how you doing? I just had to come over and say hi because I thought you were really beautiful, right? Now, let's say you opened with that, right? And then so that girl might say, thank you. Right? Then you go to, let's say you go to another girl and you say the same thing. Hey, miss, how you doing? I just had to come over and say hi because I thought you was really beautiful. Right? And then that girl might, laugh. You understand? And you say the same thing to another girl, she might ignore you. Say the same thing to another girl, she might blush and not really say anything. So you could say the same line, but you're going to get unique responses from these girls. You understand what I'm saying? Even if you said that same line to like 3 different girls and all of them, let's say all of them responded and said thank you, right? Now, one of them might have said thank you and laughed. One of them might have said thank you and smiled. One of them might have just said thank you and not smiled. They're all different responses. They're all unique responses. So now when you're, continuing to have that conversation, right? Let's say the girl says thank you and then you say something else. Then she's going to say something else. Then you say something else, and then she's going to say something else. And all of these, conversations that you're having with different women, it's going to be unique experiences, right? So there's nothing that I or anyone could tell you to say, literally to say in that situation, because each situation is unique, right? So what it is that what you got to understand is that you should understand what you're trying to do in the situation. So you say, hey, I'm going to go out, I'm going to talk to these girls and I want to get some numbers so that I can, get together with these women, right? So you say, okay, I'm going to have a conversation with these girls and then close the deal so I can get the number. So, that's like your goal in that situation to make that happen. So while you're approaching her and you're talking to her, you're doing that, and that is what you're trying to make happen within that conversation. Now, when we talk about what you talk about in the conversation, right, or exactly what you say has to do with what's going on literally in that moment, right? And so this is why when you're talking to women, you have to be focused on what's being said in the moment. Because what's being said in the moment is going to be the thing that gives you, what you should say, right? So when you're asking, hey, what do I say to a girl? What do I say when I talk to women? What you say is basically what's happening in the moment, right? But now let's, get a little bit more deeper into this, right? So now, when you're talking about learning how to interact with women and talk to women, what you need to know is that you know the things you need to do on the surface, meaning, let's say, for example, instead of just having regular conversation, you will flirt more. You understand what I'm saying? Instead of, just, talking about like regular shit, you might get a little bit more, sexual in your flirting, right? Instead of just standing, let's say like right in front of her and just standing in one spot. Maybe if you were at a party or an event or whatever, you're talking to some girl and you're getting real flirty with her, you might, touch her hand or put your arm around her a little as you're talking to her. Those are, different things that you can do within the interaction, right? To make the interaction more successful, because you're actually flirting and creating that sexual tension. But when we talk about you or the things that you should say, right? Everything that you say in those conversations will be unique experiences, right? So now, the reason why I'm saying this is because what's stopping a lot of you guys from actually having situations where you're getting more numbers, getting more dates, all this other stuff, is because you're holding on to the idea that there's something that you need to say when you're talking to these girls, or there's some sort of script or thing you are, a specific thing you're supposed to follow as far as the literal specific words and things that you should say in the conversation to make it go better. So the thing is that when you're having conversations with girls, you're like, oh man, I didn't get her number, or she rejected me, or whatever it is. And then you're thinking, damn, if I knew exactly what to say, or is there a thing that I can say to make these girls want to get with me more, to make this happen, 9 times out of 10 and all this other stuff. But see, what you got to understand is there is no specific thing to say. You understand? And the thing that you need to say is what's happening in that moment, right? Now, what's good about understanding this is that it'll free you up from, the idea that there is a perfect thing to say. You understand? So now, when you're dealing with women and you're talking to women, right, you'll understand that, okay, well, I don't need to make this perfect, because there is no perfect thing to say. I don't need to, be super smooth and say the right thing, because there is no right thing to say, right? The if you want to, have something to, I guess, lean on, right? You lean on basically the basics, meaning, for example, you can approach a girl indirectly or directly, right? Or when you're talking to the girl, make sure you're flirting and not just having regular small talk the whole time. You understand? But when we get into the specifics of what is being said is always going to be unique. So since it's always going to be unique, there is no technique that someone can give you to say the exact things you should be saying in the moment. Because what needs to be said in the moment is the thing that's literally happening in that moment, right? And once you understand this, once you understand that, when you're going back and forth and you're having that interaction, right? Once you understand that that is basically what it's about, then you'll be more focused on the conversations that you're having with these women. Then when you focus more on those conversations, then you're going to realize and start to understand, okay, wow, I could come back with this, I can say this, I can say that, because you're so in the moment and you're actually, vibing back and forth with that situation. Versus if you're in the, you're in the situation and you're thinking, damn, should I say this or should I not say this? Is there a better thing I could say here? And it's like, you're not even really there. You're all up in your head. You understand what I'm saying? You're not there having the conversation with the girl, right? So the thing is that once you understand this, you'll start to talk to more women. And the more women you talk to, the better your social skills will be. Because remember, when you are having conversations and you're talking and everything, it's, you know, you're practicing your social skills. You're practicing your verbal skills. You understand? It's you're basically like warming up your verbal muscle. You understand? And the thing is that once you do that, or while you're doing that, your verbal skills, your social skills get stronger. You understand? Like, even for example, you know, you guys see me do videos all the time, and you know, I do audios on my Bad Boy membership, which are like, you know, 45 minutes to almost like an hour and a half long, right? So the thing is that since I've been doing videos and speaking in front of crowds and all this stuff for years, right? My verbal skills, as far as, you know, being able to, you know, keep talking and say things and all this other stuff, come up with things to say on the spot, it happens because I've continuously worked on that. You understand what I'm saying? So, like, you know, even as I'm doing this video now, you know, I could be looking at some other thing or whatever, and since I'm so like well versed in actually, you know, speaking and talking about different things in the moment and everything like that, it just flows naturally now. You understand? It becomes second nature. So when you start to, you know, understand what you need to do, a lot of this is going to become second nature. So when you are actually having that interaction and you are being in that moment, it's going to be easier for you to, you know, have that interaction and see where it needs to go in order for you to make the things that you want to happen, right? But you have to get out of this mindset of thinking there's this perfect thing to say, because what you need to say is what is going to happen in the moment. Once you understand this, it's going to get easier for you. Once you understand this, you're going to see how much more freeing it is, because now you know that it's not about, oh, I got to learn the perfect thing to say here, and I should have said this and should have said that. And a lot of times what happens is that when you are, you know, interacting with a chick, right? Let's say you really wanted to get this girl's number and you're talking to her, and let's say, you know, she doesn't give you the number or whatever, right? And, you know, you don't get with her. Now, what a lot of guys will do is they will think about, oh man, you know, I should have said this or I should have did that. They'll think about that afterwards, right? Or, you know, let's say, for example, they talk to a girl and they, you know, get her number, the girl was feeling them or whatever and all this other stuff. And so they'll try to analyze what happened, and they're like, oh, well, you know, that was cool. I got her number because I did this and because I did that, right? Now, see, what's happening is that they are thinking about or you know, wondering about what happened in that specific moment after the moment is gone, right? And thinking, oh, I could have did this better, or the reason this happened is because I did that, or whatever. So now what happens is that they're constantly thinking about what happened later, and or thinking, you know, the good thing that happened, or you can say like the thing they wanted to happen happened. They're thinking like, okay, I got her number in this moment, or I didn't get her number at this moment, so I could have did this better, or since I did get her number, I did this, and this is what worked, and yada yada yada, right? The point is that they're so focused on what had happened, right, that they're not realizing that none of that actually matters. You understand? Like, none of it actually matters. Meaning, if you're thinking about what you could have did better, it doesn't really matter because the moment is over. If you're thinking about what you did that was good, right? It's cool to sort of like say, okay, maybe I can tailor it that way the next time I even talk to another girl. But it still doesn't matter, because what you did literally in that moment might not work in the other moment, because the whole moment, the new moment is going to give you something totally different. It's going to throw you something totally different than you expected. So what you did that worked before probably is not going to work now. So at the end of the day, all that matters literally is that moment. You understand what I'm saying? That's really all that matters. So what you need to understand is that you need to be able to understand what you need to do in that moment when the moment is happening. Do you understand what I'm saying? And so if you are in tune with the moment, then that's the thing that's going to make shit, you know, propel you to that level to where you're actually making more things happen that, will benefit you. You're going to actually attract more women. You're going to get more dates. You're going to get more numbers and all this other stuff because you have freed yourself from thinking there's this perfect thing to say, and you have put yourself or brought yourself back into the moment and understanding that that is the only important thing. You understand what I'm saying? That's the only important part that you have to focus on. You understand? Not what's going to happen later, not what happened before, what's happening right now. That's it. That is it. And that's going to take your, game to a higher level instead of trying to figure out some magic formula, the magic pill, the magic beans of, or is there something I can say to make all girls drop their drawers in 2 seconds? Can you give me the 3 magic words that I gotta say, in order to make this happen? It's ridiculous. You understand? So guys, listen, understand that every conversation that you have with women is going to be a unique experience. All right? So that's pretty much it. Listen, if you guys have any questions, make sure you click the link below, and I'll holler at you later. Remember, the truth is inside you. Peace. I'm gone. Now, before you turn off this video, I want you to do 3 quick things. 1, I want you to click the link below so you can send me a question and I'll do a video on it. 2, I want you to click the link under that to get my free audio program, Undeniable Game, which gives you 7 tips on how to really attract beautiful women. And number 3, I want you to click the link under that to go to badboymembership.com, where you get 45 through 90-minute audio and video dating advice tutorials every month. Hey, what's up? It's dating and life coach Mr. Locario. Go to badboymembership.com and master the dating game by joining my Bad Boy Membership program. In this program, you'll receive 45 through 90-minute, easy-to-follow, step-by-step dating advice tutorials that's guaranteed to help you attract, date, and have sex with beautiful women. Join the Bad Boy Membership today by going to badboymembership.com. That's badboymembership.com.